What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show.
The Vera and Tommy Show. The Vera and Tommy Show. The Vera and Tommy Show. The Vera and Tommy Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera and Tommy Show. Let's talk about it.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am excited again. I'm so excited about my guest. She is an entrepreneur, CEO of a hair product company. And before I bring her on, I'm going to share her commercial. And then I'm going to bring her on and talk a little bit more about her.
Mama Knows creates high-quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products because, you know, Mama knows what you need.
Well, I am so excited to have my guest, Miss Pamela Burroughs. How are you doing today, Pamela?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. I'm going to share a little bit about you. And
I snoozed that, just so you know that.
Okay. Let me share a little bit about Pam. Pamela Burroughs, aka Mama Knows, is the founder and CEO of Mama Knows LLC in Memphis, Tennessee. This female-owned hair care brand is relaunching to greater heights with the new name Me Azari. I think I said it wrong. My Azari. Okay. My Azari.
It stands for My Help from God.
My Help from God. The new name will better fit the all-inclusive brand of hair care products, which are used for all ages with the assistance of an adult for children, all genders, all ethnicities, and all textures of hair. Pamela, a God-fearing, faithful wife, mother of two, and a self-made entrepreneur, earned an associate's degree in applied science from Colorado Career College in Memphis, Tennessee. Oh,
Concord,
I
correct.
said Colorado. Oh my God, I got Colorado on my brain. Concord Career College in Memphis, Tennessee, and became a Tennessee certified respiratory therapist. Because of her interest in natural hair care, Pamela obtained a hair branding certificate from Deborah Nuttall at the New Tall New Generation and became a Tennessee certified natural hair technician administered by April McClin at the Healthy Hair Cafe. All right, I'm going to stop reading because clearly I'm messing up.
That's
And
okay.
so,
That's okay.
and
We are not
so
perfect beings.
that's true. Thank God we're not. And thank God people understand that we're not.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what I'm going to do is give you the floor and give you an opportunity to kind of share with us. One, tell us a little bit about your story. Now, I know about your story because we spent almost an hour the other night with you telling me all these many things that happened to you. Now, we don't have that kind of time today, but I do want you to just do a brief overview of some of the things that you've gone through and how God has kept you to the point where you can move forward in spite of any health conditions that you may have and still be an entrepreneur and a successful CEO of a hair branding company. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to just kind of share with our audience.
Thank you. First, I give God the glory for everything that He does in my life. And a lot of people don't know exactly why I'm always giving God the glory is because I was a respiratory therapist for many years, and never in my life would I have imagined that I would have become disabled. I developed a lot of health issues that placed me in a wheelchair for almost 4 years. I still have to get in one every now and then. And beyond having to get in a wheelchair sometime, my body just shuts down. So when all these health issues started attacking my body, I had to, it was actually affecting my hair as well. So when it started affecting my hair, I had to try to see what could I do to stop all this illness and autoimmune issues from attacking my hair. And I tried every product under the sun, and I just couldn't find one for me. Now, I'm not saying that there's not anything for others, but for me, I could not find anything for me. So I started trying different things. I got with a chemist named Angela McGee. I love her. And her company is Definitive Formulations. We worked together to perfect my formulas to make sure that every product was sufficient and working properly for not only my hair, but all textures of hair. I did testing for about 3-4 years before I even placed it out there on the market. So that's about a big gist of me.
Well, there's a lot more to you. Come on, let's be real now. I know that you had a couple of near death experiences.
I did. I actually went blind from one of my health issues. I have issues with my eyes that come from my autoimmune issues from rheumatoid. So I went blind once and I could not even see. So my husband had to find me in the kitchen trying to figure out my way out. When I had both my kids, if anybody know me, I almost died. I'm trying to have my kids. It was a very rough process of carrying them and having them because I have the hormone that does not accept the pregnancy hormone. My body does not accept the pregnancy hormone at all. So even now, if you see my face, it breaks out every now and then from medicine that they're working on with me to help with inflammation within my body. But I'm not a person that really likes to talk about the health issues because I feel like when I talk about health issues, I feed into it and I give it more life than it needs. So that's why I'm a type of person kind of shy away from health issues. So
I know, and I appreciate that because one of the things that I said as I was promoting you is mindset. You deal with mindset, and I
yes.
love the fact that you said there's a quote in your bio which you said, let me
God
read.
didn't put me in a box, nor will man.
Amen. Say it again. Say
Well,
it
my
again.
doctors, they are totally against me even creating a business because of the stress and all my health issues that come along with it. But I'm a very uh, strong woman. I'm gonna say that. So being told no is not something that I can just take, and just being told that I have to sit down and just accept things. I'm not acceptable of taking that either. So
And see, that's the beauty of who you are. The fact that even though doctors gave you up a couple of times, even though you had 7 blood transfusions within a
7.
5 year period of time, even though you've been crippled, you've been blind, even with all of those things,
I'm still here.
you're still here. You're still here, and
You
you're
don't know
doing
how many
awesome.
times I've had to sign paperwork to say, if this happened to me, what do I want them to do? Do I want them to resuscitate me? Where do I want my kids to go? Who do I want them to be with? But all the time when I was in a hospital going to those things, most people would be like, you probably was crying. You probably was doing this. And I was like, no, I'm grateful for what he has given me, because I could be multiple other different things. I could not be here. So if he took me at that moment in time, I feel like I've talked to my kids, taught them enough to accept God, understand God, and be able to live without me being present.
My,
They may
my,
not
my,
feel
my,
that way.
my. And right, of course. My. So let's talk about these products
Yes.
and all the things that you are doing with your company. So I want to give you a few minutes to talk about that.
Okay. Well, with my products, I started off with just the leave-in conditioning moisturizing cream, because that was my very first baby. I refuse to get a loan or anything that I have to pay back, because I'm a big person that there's nothing free. So when I started with my baby, the leave-in conditioner moisturizing cream, I did test runs on all types of hair with different people. I take select people from different groups and ethnicities to see if the product works for them and how it works on their hair and how it should be used on their hair. And once I saw that it was brought into fruition, it was working good and everybody was liking it, and it was actually growing their hair, because I do not promote that I grow their hair. That's something that I don't do, because you have to have permission through FDA to do that. So what I say is I promote healthy hair, what promotes hair growth. If I make the hair healthy, it will grow the hair. So I use that as my base. And once it was off the ground, I started adding another baby. And once it grew, I add another one until I got the product line. And I'm still building onto the product line.
That's wonderful. That is awesome. So let me ask you, so with where can people get your products?
If they go to mamaknowsproducts.com, that's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. And
Okay.
I actually have an oil that I'm going to be placing on my site pretty soon. It's already in a couple stores, but and herbal tea. And everybody
Oh, tell
say,
me about your tea.
well, I was having high blood pressure issues to the point where they had me taking 2 blood pressure medicines, and I was like, "Look, I can't be taking all this medicine." And so I prayed to God and I said, you said that everything we need is here on this earth. So I'm trying to dive more into herbalism, becoming an herbalist and things like that. So I talked to God and I asked him, what is it that I need to do to help my blood pressure? And
Hmm.
I had an old book here with old herbs and things like that in it. And I went in there and I just started looking and I started searching. And all of a sudden, he was just telling me, put this and put this and put this. And I put it together and I did it on myself. No one knew. My family did not know. I did it on myself and just to see would it work for me. And when I went to the doctor, I always tell people this: never tell the doctor what you're taking until he tell you what your results are. Because if you do, he's going to tell you, oh God, you're not supposed to take that. Don't do this and don't do that. Well, I did it. And take note, he was wanting me to take 3 blood pressure medicines. My blood pressure was fine. It's fine to this day. My
Because of
mom,
because of the herbal.
because of my herbal tea, because of the grace of God first, and my herbal tea. My mom takes it, and I have other people that's taking it, and I have to still warn them. I said, always keep up with your doctor. Make sure your doctor knows exactly what you're doing after he comes back with the results.
And you know what? I want to talk about medications and what have you, because I know at one point, if not now, at one point you were on a lot of medications.
Yes.
And you kind of mentioned to me that taking medication for one thing
Leads
led
to
to
another
something
medication.
else.
Yes.
And people don't understand. A lot of times we need to look at, like you said, holistic, natural ways of healing our bodies, and understand that our bodies can also heal themselves.
Right.
And so I know that you have a lot of issues that require some form of medication, but on the other hand, you've also looked at things that you can do yourself to
Yes.
eliminate some
Yes.
of those medications. And I think
Yes.
that is awesome. And I'm definitely interested in knowing more about your hair care products. Definitely. So I'll be
Okay.
talking to you more about that. And we need to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back. I have a commercial I need to air, and then we're going to come back and talk more about you and your products,
And where they can
and
get it locally.
where they can get it. Yes, absolutely. So let me do this, and we'll be right. That was Sand Pete Financials. That was their commercial. And I do want to take a minute and play another one so that we can continue our conversation with Miss Burroughs.
CTR Media Network has amazing opportunities to expand the visibility of business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, coaches, and podcasters on our platform. Would you like to be interviewed on any of our podcasting shows? Where we're booking right now, so go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Would you like to have an ad in our upcoming Podcast Revolution magazine? Well, simply go to our website and place your ad today. We also have commercial placement opportunities. We would love to play your commercial during the airing of our CTR Media Network Live and the Tina Ramsey Show. We would love to partner with you. If you feel that your business is a right fit, contact us about our sponsorship opportunities. CTR Media Network has a variety of different opportunities to fit every budget. So reach out to us by going to ctrmedianetwork.com and book the appropriate ad for yourself today.
CTRmedianetwork.com. I am so honored and proud to be a part of this organization, and we are doing some awesome things. So if you are interested in being one of my sponsors, or having a commercial on my show, or supporting me, then by all means contact me at Vera Thomas Show 1117 at gmail.com. And let's talk about how you can help support me. On the other hand, you can also support me right now by going to $Instill Great, or PayPal or Zelle, Vera Thomas Show 1117 at gmail.com. Your support is really needed and appreciated. We are doing these shows twice a week, and any support that we can get is greatly appreciated. So please donate whatever you have to Vera Thomas. The Cash App is $Instill Great. $Instill Great. All right. Now back to our guests. And one of the things that we were talking about before you left, You want to talk about where can people get your products locally?
Okay, before I tell them that, I noticed that was streaming on the bottom is MAMA, Mama Knows.
That's okay. Let me go back to that. That was incorrect.
Yes, ma'am. It's MAMAKNOWS.
Okay. Let me. Okay. M-A. Oh, okay. M-A-M-A. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Not mammy, but mommy. Mama. Okay.
Mama Knows.
Mama
That's
knows
correct.
products.com, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me save that and run it again. All right. I'm glad you saw that. Okay.
MAMA.
I messed up again?
Yes, ma'am. That's okay. It's
No, it's
MA.
not okay.
It's okay. God is good. It's
Okay.
okay.
So, wait,
MAMA.
that's what I have. Wait a minute. Okay. M-A-M-A knows products.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But what you saw, I also had something regarding Instagram. So let me try this again. Is this right now? Is this right now? Is that right?
That is MOMA.
It's M-A-M-A.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. I got it. All
To
right.
God
All
be the
right.
glory.
To God be the glory. So anyway, tell us where you people can get your products.
They can go to that site, and they can also locally, if you would like to purchase your stuff locally, you can go to Lee's Handbags and Accessories on
Is
Mount
that
Morale
here
Road
where are
in
they
Memphis,
located?
Tennessee.
All right. All
Yes.
right.
And she has my product there. You can also go to Treasure Box Steams that's in Cordova, Tennessee, and you can purchase it there. Now, if you go to my website and you actually ask to pick it up, Treasure Box Steam is the location that you would pick it up at.
Okay. But for those of us that live in other parts of the country, like
Then you
Marietta,
would
Georgia, then we then we
then you
need
would
to
go to
go.
the mamaknowsproducts.com,
Got
MAMAKNOWSPRODUCTS.com.
it. Got it. Now, have you considered putting any of your things on Amazon?
I thought about it, but when you look at the price that they charge you, it's like two sets of prices that they charge you, plus you having to do all the shipping fees as well. Sometimes until you get to become a big business to where your demand is high enough, it's not really
Worth
effective.
it. Okay. Thought I'd ask.
I
Thought
wanted
I.
to, trust me, but I said, oh, when you look at those fees, I said, I got to get people to know me more. That way they
Yeah.
can recognize that it's me. And even when I change the name over, the product name over, they'll still know that that's me. The product is not changing, just the name is relaunching.
What made you change your name?
Well, when you first start out business, there's a tendency that the state will tell you, I put it like this, the state will tell you that these are the steps that you need to take in order to start your business. Make sure that it's worth the money and the effort. So when you tell someone that, the first thing they want to do is, well, I'm gonna start selling it out the house and see how it works, if it's good. So that's the first thing you do. But the problem is when you take that step, when you on social media and things like that, people sometimes will try to follow you to see what you do, and that's how your name get taken. And you got people out here that their job is to just, if
Mess you up.
company, they'll sit there and buy your domain, they'll buy everything just to cut you off at the neck. So when
Did
you
that
know that you
happen
got,
to you?
it did, but it's okay. I look at it like this right here. If said person did not do what they did, God wouldn't talk to me to say, hey, you need a name that is more pleasing to all people, because it's okay that I am Mama Knows. That's okay. But when you're reaching out to all ethnicities, then you have to kind of think, when they hear that name, will they think, oh, I don't want to put this in my hair. This sounds like it's for African American. So if you have something like Maya Zari, they don't know. They just said, "Oh, that's a pretty name. What does it mean?" This spikes of curiosity. So when everything works for the best. I lost a lot of money. Lord knows, I lost a lot of money, and I had a lot of, but I had to just be grateful, pull back, and say, "Why?" And let's see, what do I need to do? And that's when he spoke to me.
And see, that's again what I'm talking about, your mindset. You lost a lot of money. You had to revamp and change the name of your company, all because of shysters and people trying to do you wrong. But
Yeah,
no weapon formed against you shall
they'll prosper.
prosper.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so, what they meant for bad, God turned it around
And then
and
I
made
would
it for
say,
good.
and I would say this too. Sometimes when God give you something and you don't go ahead and do it when he give it to you, the same way he gave you that vision and that idea, he may have spiked someone else with that same vision and idea. That's not the situation that happened with me, but we're going to just say that happens sometime. And when it happens, you got to ask yourself why and keep going. Listen, calm your spirit from the unthinkables and keep it moving.
Yes. And see, that's a beautiful spirit. That's a beautiful attitude. And
Thank you.
that's why you're going to be blessed even more. You
Oh,
know,
thank you.
you're going to be blessed even more because of your spirit and because of what it is that you're doing and what you represent. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's just absolutely beautiful. So we talked a little bit about your health. What more can you tell us about the products? We talked about your high blood pressure tea.
Yeah, well, I call it my total body tea. That's what I
Okay.
call it, my total body tea, because it helps with the immune system as well. So it's a lot of good ingredients inside of it. One thing about it, a lot of people ask me, they say, "You put your ingredients on your stuff?" Well, you have to. You have to, because if you're allergic to anything that's in there and I do not expose that to you, I could be sued for that. And
Yeah.
I don't have time to get here to get smacked back down
Right,
just for
right.
inconsistency. So
And aren't you legally, aren't you supposed to put your ingredients on your
yes,
products?
ma'am. But a lot of people don't do it. But it comes back around. It'll bite you. It'll bite you if you don't. So I do that, and I make sure my product has insurance and is protected and all those type of things, because that's what you have to do as a business. So it comes with a lot of pull, gain some, lose some, gain some, lose some, because of the fact of building. But with the hair products, I wanted to make sure that, a lot of people is going into this. I want everything to be all natural. And that's great. That's good. Mine is not all natural. I have safe products, safe ingredients inside of my products, because I have to make sure that my products maintains a stable state. It doesn't mold, it doesn't mildew or anything like that. When you buy something that is all natural, you have to make sure that you follow the directions, whether you need to refrigerate it or not, because if you don't, then you can take a chance of, oh, before I even used it up, it's molded, or there's little black spots in my stuff. So the first thing that I wanted to make sure was that my products was not only natural ingredients in it, but there were safe ingredients in it. Just because things are natural doesn't mean that it's always safe. I tell people all the time, people smoke weed. I tell them, I say, well, they say, well, it comes from the earth. I said, well, it may come from the earth, but poison ivy come from the earth too. Do you smoke it? So you have to kind of think about things like that. So with my products, that's what I gear to. I like edge control, but I don't like hard edge control. So my edge control is a little different. It has moisture in it. So if I sweat, like this light is sweating, I can take my sweat, rub it on it, and then lay right back down. And I did that at a pop-up show one day, and everybody was like, did she just do that? And they came running to my table and they started buying the product because they couldn't believe that it was doing that. So I like to tell people to make testimonies, because people like to see. I like my people to speak for my product. I don't like to always speak for it. I like people to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, how many products do you have right now? Can we kind of talk about each one?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, I have the conditioning moisturizing cream. It is a leave-in, so you can leave it in your hair depending on your texture of hair. So that's why the front of it doesn't say leave-in conditioning moisturizing cream. It just says conditioning moisturizing cream. And the reason why is because a Caucasian young lady can't leave that in her hair. She has to put it in, cool, rinse it out. So I have beauticians, April Macklin at the Healthy Hair Cafe, and my friend that I tell all the time, Krista Foster Funches. She has her salon down the street from me, and she does a lot of colors and textures, and they both do. So I like to, get beauticians and barbers to actually use my stuff. J100, he's a barber. He actually uses my product, and he tells people if you want it, you're gonna have to pay for it. And you got Corey House, he uses it. So he uses it on his customers if they want it, but he mainly uses for his family and him.
And we got a comment here. They call me JB. Says her products are for all types of men's hair also, which is what you were just saying.
Right. They use it on their beards. So even if guys decide that they want to be bald, they'll use it on their beard, and they let it just use it for, it's a 360 bonding oil is what I call it. So you can use the cream and you can use the bonding oil. It just depends on your preference, because the reason it's a 360 bonding oil is because it not only strengthens your hair, but it conditions, it moisturizes, and it shines your hair too. So guys like to use it on their beards. They like, this a multi-purpose products. Every last one of my products, I have the moisturizing conditioner, that cream. I have the leave-in detangling spray. I have the rice water shampoo and conditioner, the 360 bonding oil.
You said rice water?
Rice water shampoo and conditioner. Yes, ma'am. Rice
Tell
water
me
is
more
great
about that.
Rice water is really good for your hair and your scalp. So if you get a lot of buildup, a lot of people, the first thing is they were like, I want clarity. I want a clarifying shampoo. And that's great, but I have a mid-range. That's why I tell people I have a mid-range. I don't want to strip your hair all the way out, but I like it to keep a little moisture in it, but clean it. And with the rice water, it helps soothe the scalp. If you put it on, you'll feel like you got a refreshing tingle to your head. And that was something that I was just determined to have in my product. So that is amazing. That is like one of my biggest sellers. That and the edge control, and it's hard to kind of pick because my customers are so all over the place. So it's kind of hard for me to pick which one is the biggest.
So let me ask you.
They call my leave-in conditioning moisturizing cream. Some of them call it creamy crack. Because they'll cut their hair and it grow right back. They cut their hair and it grow right back.
Wow. So what is the price range?
Well, if say you got the edge control, that is like $12.50. If you got my 2 ounce, and I let the customers know this, I am debating on dropping either my 2 or my 4 ounce jar. So there may be a 2 and an 8 ounce of the cream, but it starts at I think $12.99 or something like that. But it goes up to about $45, or you can get the whole kit. I call it my little black box, and that's what people like. That they love to get the little black box. So I get that sometimes, and it'll have every ingredient in there, every product in there, and it'll actually have a letter personally from me in there.
And what does that cost?
Don't quote me, but I think it's around about $150 for the whole set, because you get a shampoo and conditioner, the rice water shampoo and conditioner, that's 2. Then you get an 8 ounce cream. You get the 360 bonding oil. You get the edge control, and you get the detangler. So you get 6 items with the letter.
That's amazing. That's really great. And
a little goes a long way. It took my customers a while to realize that a little goes a long way. You do not have to just pile it in your hair at all.
And Ruby, she says, awesome products.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome products. So, and I know you have products for children as well.
That's the my products go for all ages. All ages. I have women with gray hair using it. I have babies using it. I actually if you go to my Google, if you go to Google and look up Mama Knows LLC, you can actually see testimonies. I have people, they posted pictures of their baby's hair, and it works. I just tell the parents that you are to guide with this. Don't just, let this be a free range for your little babies, keep it out of reach.
That's amazing. I do have another commercial to play,
Okay.
and we will be right back.
Miss Mac, $1 million maker. Miss Mac marketing. 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 Make your dreams become reality today with Miss Mac Marketing. 848-236-5026.
Miss Mag Marketing. If you're interested in being visible, getting seen, having publicity, then you want to contact Miss Mag Marketing, and the number is 848-236-5026. And I believe you are one of her clients. Yes.
Yes,
And
I
I'm so
am.
glad that you're here with me today. I
Thank you.
do have one more that I need to share. Sound money benefits. If you're concerned about holding on to your money, given the bank situations and the fact that our dollar is becoming digitalized, you might want to look at other options for securing your money. So go to www.soundmoneybenefits.com and look at what other options are out there for you. All right. Now, back to us. All right. Now, when did your business start? What year was that?
I actually started working on it in about 2016, 2017 is when I actually started doing test trials and trying to see if it was actually working for me. And my godmother, Deborah Newtall, she came to me and she said, "What are you using on your hair? I thought you had thyroid issues." I said, "I do." She said, "Well, what is keeping your hair so healthy?" I said, "Well, I make my own product." She said, "Well, can I have some?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I'll buy it." I said, "That's fine." And she got it and she said, "I don't know what you got on this stuff, but you need to do something with it." And I said, "Okay, I got to do something with it." And she was like, "Don't sleep on this one." Because a long time ago, I came up with this braided wig. And that was something that came to me a long time ago when I was braiding hair. I sat at home and I said, I'm going to do a braided wig because it's hard for people to actually do this. And I tell you, young immature. The first thing I did was call the company that helped push your ideas out there. And I was never told, don't say anything over the phone. Now I know, don't say anything over the phone, because I say probably some months later, my customer came in and she said, I know I don't have to pay for my hair. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I did braids for about, I mean, for so many years. It was ridiculous. And people paid me. I was known as one of the smallest braiders in Memphis, Tennessee. I created these braids called dental floss braids. They was really, really, really they look like hair. And she said, I know I don't have to pay for this. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, well, you're rich. I said, no, I'm not. She said, well, your product is in the store. I said, what are you talking about? She said, it's in the store. She said, we got to go get my hair, so let's go up here. We went to the store and I cried. I cried. Braided wigs was in the stores. And I just said, you know, when God give you something and you don't do anything with it at that time, he will give it to someone else.
And that's what made you say that earlier.
Yes, and when you to put the icing on the cake, when my grandmother passed, she was buried in a braided wig.
Wow.
This was like a dagger to the heart.
Wow. And that was right after you met with this inventor company.
I called the company and I was like, I have this idea. It's this stuff I want to do. This is how I want to do it. I told them, I said, our hands get tired. We can't just keep braiding like this. It's too much on my hands. So I want to create a device that can clamp the hair and braid it. And I want to braid wig and things like that. I was just telling them this just out of pure ignorance. That's what I say. And I just was telling them all this. And next thing you know, they had, you remember years ago, they had the little thing you clamp to your hair and it spin, you braid your hair down. I was like, so actually I have another invention that I actually have sitting on the shelf, because I went to a doctor. Oh, I would never tell this one. I went to the doctor and I asked the doctor to help me with the next stages of the product. And he was like, well, I do it for you for 70-30 split. And I said, oh, I get 70, you get 30? He said, no, I get 70, you get 30. I said, it will rot on the shelf before I do a deal like that. And it is rotting on the shelf.
Have you ever thought about Shark Tank or anything like that?
I did, but the thing that I was looking at is a lot of people, they have their money in order. Everything is at a point before they get to Shark Tank, because if you go on Shark Tank and your money is not there and you're not showing your input and your output of your income, you're going to get chopped. They're not going to help you. That's going to be a waste of my time.
Okay. Awesome. Well, clearly, I summarize two things. One, you are led and directed by the Holy Spirit.
Yes, ma'am.
Two, you do not allow anything to stop you from moving forward once you hear that still small voice. Now, some people hear the still small voice. Some people get dreams. Some people get it straight through the word. So how are your messages given to you?
I get dreams. I get visions. I do. And I know a lot of people, some people don't believe and things like that. And I'm not against anybody's belief. But for me, for myself, I know that he speaks to me through dreams. I know if I calm myself and I be still and I ask him, he will guide me and direct me the way that he wants me to go. And I'm very patient, because if you're not patient, you'll miss your message. And a lot of people feel like if I ask you today, I'm supposed to receive my answer today. And that's just not how he works. You just got to be patient and let him. You may be in the middle of something a month later and you get smacked in the face with the answer of something that you was asking about a month ago. But for me, I get dreams. I get visions. I sit and it's just like I wake up and I can't be still until I write it down. If I don't write it down, I can't rest the rest of the day. My best friend brother, I had a whole dream about him being sick in the ICU. I was working as a respiratory therapist, because that's what I used. I still am a respiratory therapist, just non-practicing. So I was in the hospital, just working and going through the hospital, and all of a sudden I said, "What's wrong with the person name?" And this is in a dream, so I'm not conscious that this is actually going on. And I see the family going through there, and I said, "What's going on?" So the next morning I wake up and I call, and I didn't want to call first, and she said, "You have got to tell him." And I said, "But that's gonna seem kind of crazy with me calling him, and I haven't spoken to him and God knows when." And he's like, "You called me to tell me I'm sick?" So I called, and she was like, "Just call him." I called him. I said, "Are you sick?" And he said, "No, maybe a cold." I said, "No, whatever this is, you're gonna be you're in the ICU." And he said, "Hmm." He said, I said, "Maybe you think it's pneumonia. You've been sick for a while." He said, "No, well," I said, "You might want to go get checked." And he said, "Well, I'm going to call my wife now." He got off the phone with me. He said, "Because my sister already told me when you tell her something that you need to do it." So he got off the phone with me. And I said, about 5 minutes later, his sister called me and she said, "What did you tell my brother?" And I told her what I told him. And she said, "Well, he told you a story. He's in the ICU now. They just rushed him back. They finna do emergency surgery on him because he is really sick. And they said if he hadn't came in there, he was gonna die." And then she said, "Well,
Wow.
he's complaining about it's called a colostomy bag." But she was like, he's complaining about this bag." I said, "You talking about the colostomy bag?" And she said, "Yeah, how you know?" I said, "Because God told me." I said, "But tell him it's temporary." And she said, "Huh?" I said, she said, "How you know?" I said, "I'm just letting him tell me whatever it is. I need him for me to tell you." And I said, "Tell him it's temporary, but and tell him to stop hollering at his wife. She loves him, and it's gonna be okay." And so afterwards, when he got home, we went and checked on him, and she hugged me so tight, and she said, "Thank you for being obedient."
How often do you get these kinds of premonitions?
A lot. A lot. My daughter gets so mad at me because I tell her something and she's like, "How did you know?" So I said, "I don't know. It just told me. I don't know."
Wow. That's
So
amazing. That's amazing. I know we jumped from your business,
I know, all over the
but
place.
yeah, but it's all good. It's all good because this is stuff we need to talk about. That's why
Yeah.
I see it. So tell me, well, just you tell me what you want to talk about, right?
I'm at a point where I have to show progress within my business. And with that being said, I'm trying to get my customers to do more of making their posts or making their statements on Google or on my website if they ever find a link. Sometimes they can't find a link. So I said, just put it on Google, to get people to understand that I'm not here just to supply for one race. I'm here for everyone because today's time, the household is so multicultural.
Yes.
It's so mixed right now that you got the man going to get a product for him, the wife going to get a product for her, and then she's then going to get a product for the kids. So in my mind, I wanted to make something that is for everybody because I was one of those people that I wasn't always fortunate to go and buy whatever I wanted to get for my hair. So when I think about that, I think about everyone else. And people tell me, "Why won't you go up on your price? Everything else is going up. Price is going up for you." I said, "I'm giving people a chance to know me." I said, "I'm trying to give them a chance to know me." But it's getting to a point where I will have to climb just as well as everybody else because I'm eating a lot of the fees. So I wanted to make sure that this product would work for the whole family, not just for one person. If you follow directions on the bottle, it will work for you.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I'm really interested. Let me
Okay.
tell you, I really am. So, okay, we've got a couple more things. I'm going to pull back up your bio to see if there's anything in particular that I need to share or ask you about. You've done an excellent job of explaining your products and the value of your products. And you talked a little bit about your health issues And tell me, your children, how are things with them?
Oh, they're great. They're actually online kids. And the way that happened, you would be tickled about that. But they were in school, in regular public school. And God just told me that I had to bring my kids home. He said, you got to bring them home. And I don't ask questions. I just brought my kids home. And I did a lot of homeschooling at first until I learned that there are free online school for kids. You just have to look and find it. So I got them in good online programs. But right when I brought my kids home, everybody was like, you're crazy. Why would you bring your kids home? That's a lot of work. And I said, God just told me it's going to get real bad. And I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not questioning it, but I'm going to bring my kids. So I'm going to bring my kids home. Well, next thing you know, they started having shootings in the school. They started talking about arming teachers with guns. They started having kids fighting teachers, teachers fighting kids. And then next thing you know, COVID hit, so he prepared me in advance. So when all that happened, next thing you know, I had people saying, hey, what school is your kids in? Because they're really smart. And I said, well, hey, you go over here to Tennessee Connections Academy. At that time, they was in TVA, Tennessee Virtual Academy, TNVA. And my daughter actually won the Congressional Art Competition for Tennessee District 9. And
Oh
her
my.
picture is now finally home, but it was in the Capitol when it got rioted.
Wow.
So due to the pandemic, we did not get to go to the Capitol for the dinner and all that because of the pandemic. So we missed that. But they put a plethora of letters on the back of her picture of what they had to think about her artwork. And she actually is colorblind a little. So some colors, she was actually, her picture was called Beauty in the Middle of a Pandemic. So if you go online, you can pull it up. If you put in Beauty in the Middle of a Pandemic, it'll pull up. And they talked about her situation with her color issues. And my son would actually help her and say, she'll say, what color is this? Orange or is it yellow? What color is this? And he'll say, well, that's yellow, or that's orange, or is this green or is this blue? Is this purple or is this blue? And he would actually tell her that just to help her because she loved art. So right now she's in game design school at Full Sail.
You said game design?
Yes,
Like
she's in.
video game?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. That's
At
awesome.
Full Sail University, and my son, let me say, I have some talented kids. I love them. He plays the keyboard, and she plays the guitar. He also played the cello and the drums. She also played the violin and the cello, and she could play his keyboard.
Oh, my
Now,
goodness.
he is an all-honor student, and he wants to be an engineer for NASA. So he wants to be
Wow.
a mechanical engineer when
And
he.
see, I bring up your children because I remember you saying that the doctors did not want you to carry on with your pregnancy.
Yes, with my daughter, I almost died. 2 months when I was 2 months pregnant, I became real sick. I was so sick. It was to the point where I thought that I just was picking up weight and things like that. So I was getting ready to join the gym. And my little sister, Ariana, she turned around and she said, you might want to take a test before you do it. And it's so funny. I went and I took a test and I was pregnant. And I was like, so I couldn't do the gym because I was so sick. But when I was carrying her, she kept trying to come early. So they kept trying to hold her back and things like that. So I almost died. It was really bad. I could not eat the whole pregnancy. It was that bad. I was really skinny. When I got pregnant with my son, I was 2 weeks pregnant, and I end up with PICC line, IV pump. I have had about 7 PICC lines that I had to walk around with nausea pump and fluids and things
Wow.
like that. They told me that if I lost 1 more pound, that they was going to have to take him. And I said, over my dead body, you were not, because he wouldn't have put me in this situation if he wouldn't be able to get me out. And I had people all over the place saying, but we don't even know this baby. We don't even know if it's a girl or a boy, and it's killing you. And I said, well, it's going to be okay. And take note, I was saying that and throwing up at the same time.
Wow.
And when my daughter came, her cord was wrapped around her neck 3 times.
Wow.
And they told me I actually passed out, and they had to intubate me and do a C-section with her. And then I had a fever, so I wasn't able. She had a fever, and I had a fever. I became preeclampsia after having her instead of doing. I became after, and so that was a horrible thing with her. But they wouldn't tie my tube because they said that she was too smart. Because at less than 2 months old, she was cooing. Like if I was singing, she would be cooing along with me. Then I would sing and talk to her just like this. I didn't talk the baby language with her.
Right, right.
And
And I don't think people should talk baby language.
No, I
I
don't
really
either.
don't.
And
You
my
know,
son,
just talk to your kids.
exactly. And my son, I didn't do it with him either. And when I was so grateful that they didn't let me tie my tube, because I got a beautiful son. You know, they are beautiful,
And
and
see,
they're intelligent.
and see the thing. Well, look at their mother. But
Thanks for their stepfather as well.
and the thing is, again, had you listened to what you were told, you would
I
not
wouldn't
have your
have them.
kids.
I wouldn't have not one of
You
them.
would not have your kids.
Exactly.
And so, again, taking heed, you are a testament to what it means to be led, guided, and directed. I mean, from your business to your children to your health.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I love that song, Oh Lord, How Excellent. I love
Oh,
it.
you were supposed to sing that song.
Oh Lord, no.
Remember we talked about you starting with that song. You know what?
Oh no.
Yes. We're gonna close out with
I don't
you
know all
singing.
the lyrics.
We had talked about this. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
We talked about this. So, oh my God, and you have a beautiful voice. She really has a beautiful voice. I already heard her sing this song. That's why I told her, you're going to end. So we've got 3 minutes. I'm going to do one more commercial. And when I come back, I'm not going to say a word. You're just going to close us out with that song. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? All right. All right. Let me get one of these commercials here. Okay, yes. St. Pete Financial Group. If you're interested in finding out how they might be able to help you with commercial properties and investment properties, you want to contact stpetefinancialgroup.com. All right. We've got 2 minutes left, and we're going to close out with my guests singing How excellent. I love that song. So I'm going to put you on, and I just want to say to my listening audience, please support the Vera Thomas Show. $ Instill Great. Please like, subscribe, and I appreciate the comments we had today. And so please like and comment. Like my Facebook and YouTube channel. Thank you. God bless you. And I'm so glad you were here. You're going to sing the song. I'm going to close this out, but don't leave. Okay? Don't leave. Okay. So here you go.
First, I'd like to thank my mom, Anita Harvey, and my in-laws, and all my friends and family for your support. But the song is, Oh Lord, how excellent, how excellent, how excellent, how excellent is That's the song that I love to sing, especially when I'm going through, because it actually lifts me up. When I think about everything that is so bad in my life, I think about how excellent he is.
And
And I'm
he
grateful.
is. Yes, he is excellent. Thank you for ending my show with that song. And I will see all of you on Thursday. God bless. And we'll see you next.
The Vera Time Show. The Vera Time Show. The Vera Time Show. The Vera Time Show. Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Time Show. Let's talk